Hey friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So today's video, I am so excited. Scott and I are going to be taking this ecotank 2760 and we're going to get it ready for sublimation. So I'm really excited. Now I know these ecotank printers have been a little bit hard to come by, but I got mine on Amazon. The 2760, it was about $313. Now these Epson ecotanks are a great version of printer if you're going to change into sublimation, because they have a tank system that already uses liquid ink. So all you're going to have to do is switch over to sublimation ink instead of using the ink that comes in the cartridge. So you do not want to use the ink that comes with it. You want to use the sublimation ink. And I bought this one. This is called Printer's Jack Sublimation Ink. I got it on Amazon, $22.99. Now I know that there are several brands that people like. I've heard a lot about the Cosmos. I hadn't heard about it until after I'd already ordered this one. Now I will say that this had over 6,000 reviews on Amazon with a 4.8 star rating. So I feel good about buying it and using it, and we'll see how that goes. Now, the other thing is this is a new Epson printer. So, and this video is going to be starting with a brand new printer. And the reason why I say that is because you cannot mix any regular ink with sublimation ink and have it work. It has to be all pure sublimation ink. Okay? Now, I know that there are videos out there. I've seen some on taking one that's been in use and cleaning it out and all of that. It seems like a whole lot of work. But if you were to find one for dirt cheap and wanted to try it, there are videos out there. But I certainly wouldn't spend a lot of money on a used one because it may very well not work. So we're starting from brand new printer, adding sublimation ink from the get-go. Okay? All right, so we're going to get this out. We're going to get this unpackaged and we will get started on it. And this Epson, the ecotank 2760, it is, of course, scan, print, wireless, copy. Looks like it's a pretty good printer. So, all right, we'll get everything out and we'll get started, okay? All right, so I have Scott here with me, and he wanted to see this process also, and we've got everything unpackaged. I took off all the little pieces of tape. You have to lift it up and take out all the pieces of tape as well. Now, for the sake of time, I've washed out my bottles. So, but because this printer came with an extra black, this is how it comes packaged. And these are special bottles. The nipple on the top of it is actually special to go into the slots for the ink. Now, this is the thing I will tell you. Your ink comes with, your sublimation ink comes with a syringe. And so the syringe is meant to pull up the ink and put it into the cartridges. But this is the thing. It takes a long time to pull that ink up. So I'm choosing not to do it. All right. And this is my sublimation ink. This is how it comes. It has this tip nozzle, which is nice. So now remember I told you that regular ink and sublimation ink cannot mix. If you mix the two, it's not going to work. So
this printer was designed to do this?
No, this printer...
we're hacking the printer.
That's right. This printer was designed to have regular ink in it.
Okay.
So we're just going to change it around and make it for sublimation.
Like it.
And it has to be... You have to do it brand new. So the thing is, regular ink and sublimation ink, you can't mix them together or it's not going to work. So if this had already had regular ink in it, you couldn't just add sublimation.
You can add little lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's videos, like if you bought one super cheap, there are videos on it, but I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a used one and then try and flush it because it might not work.
Yeah.
You know? All right, so I'm going to back up for 1 second and I just want to show you something. This is the power cord. Power cord stays in the bag and to the side until you've put the ink in. You cannot plug in the machine and power it on before you put the ink in. You will mess up the process. So don't even take it out of the plastic until you put the ink in, okay?
I was getting ready to mess it up.
Huh?
I was getting ready to mess up the process.
I know, right? See, I saw you wanting that power cord. Okay, so again, I'm going to tell you, I'm taking the chance washing the bottles and doing it this way. But I feel confident in it. But I'm going to tell you, just so you know, it is a chance. And do not wash them with soap. I just wash them with hot water. Now, something I do want to show you, because I've noticed it when I've seen other people do it this way, but nobody's mentioned it. So the tips are still color in there. I cleaned this really good, but it's stained. So that is not going to come perfectly white. And it is like that for each one of them. So, and nobody's like, everybody just pretends like it's not there when we know that you can't mix ink, together. So, but I made sure it is really, really clean. Scott doesn't believe me, so he's double checking.
I'm just seeing what's going on. Being myself.
Yes.
I'm already thinking about how we could pop that out there and clean it.
Well, so the other thing is too, you got to be gentle when you're cleaning it because they are made. There is a special, like a little plastic piece inside each one. And that little plastic piece, it makes it because each color, so when you're putting your colors into your bottles, you got to make sure you're doing color for color because each one is set up to only fit, the nozzle only fits in the right color for the container.
Actually, the tip's clean. It's actually just around it.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So, okay. So now we've got our sublimation ink and it comes like this. So it comes with this foil over it. It would be really nice if these bottles came with a foil over it because we wouldn't worry about the tip, but they don't. So, and I'm wearing gloves because I really don't want ink all over myself. Now I'm going to take off this top, and this makes it very easy. You don't need a funnel or anything. And we're just going to add our ink.
Does bottles go in the machine?
Yep, those bottles go in the machine. So you could use the syringe that comes with this, and you could pull it up. Those are 5cc syringes. I mean, honestly, even if you had a 10cc syringe, it would take forever. If I were going to use the syringes, being that I pull up stuff in syringes on a regular basis with work, I'd probably pull the plunger out, put the needle on, stick it in, pour it, and then put the plunger in. But you do risk, making a little bit of a mess. All right, so now what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to save these because I'm going to rinse these out. And I'm going to put the ink that came with this back in here and put them away in case we need printer ink.
Where's that now?
It's in those cups sitting
okay.
on the counter that I told you was not Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that you didn't want to make a mess with because it'll be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, if you spill it, it's ink. It's staying everywhere. Now, when I took these tops off, just so you know, it was a little tough to get it off, and Scott was outside, so I had to do it myself. So I just used an oven mitt and grabbed a hold of it, and I was able to get it. All right, so this opens up, and then this opens up. And now these tell you, so this is black. So we're going to open this, and we're going to put on our black.
I get it.
And it just snaps in there.
You got it. There you go.
Like this. You just put it in.
You can hear it filling up.
And it fills itself. You don't squeeze. You don't do anything. So.
That's pretty slick.
Isn't that slick?
It's better than even like the regular print. Even if you weren't using it for this, just using it for regular printer.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that's really nice is that this liquid ink, like, it lasts a long time.
And the lid can hold it for you.
Huh?
The lid can hold it for you.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You just put that up and it holds.
You may do that for you.
Huh?
You may do that for you.
All right.
And there's not more than that bottle in that tank will hold, is there?
There might be. But we're going to have to prime it. And anything that's left over we'll just save and use. I did not do a good job. When I peeled the
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, this stuff.
I was just curious if they get worried about it overflowing.
No, it stops on its own.
Okay.
So and
empty.
And it sounds like it has stopped, right?
Mm-hmm. Just letting it finish it. It's still coming up a little bit.
Yeah, and it'll stop on its own, and then we'll pull it off, put the top on.
This looks like a pretty nice printer, regardless.
Yeah, it is. It's a real. That's what I was saying. It's a really nice printer, and it's got a scanner and a copy scan.
Mm-hmm. You can't use it for that kind of stuff though. Once you get this ink in there.
Well, so actually, I was really glad that it had a copier, because you can put a picture in and copy to a sublimation. So yes, there's that. Right, so
but you
that's
can't use it for a regular printer ever again. No.
You can never use it as a regular printer. However, like, we could still scan from it because you're not. Right. Well, I guess your confirmation sheet would use your sublimation.
It's pretty slick. Pretty mess free.
Mm-hmm. So look, there's a little bit left in here. We'll put it back in here when it's done. Okay. So here is, and there's still. Is there any left in the black now?
That's empty. Yeah.
All right, so we'll...
It filled it up almost...
Yeah, but we'll save our little bottle.
There's a little stick in here like the car does when you put it up.
And then...
There you go.
Isn't that cool? And then next is Magenta. Now, I think that the colors...
It's pretty bright yellow.
Huh?
Pretty nice bright yellow.
Yeah. I think that the colors... will have some left over from what I understand.
Oh, you mean have extra in there?
Yeah. Now,
yeah, it's filling up fast. Yeah, the black tank's not even full. It's like 3/4 full.
Yeah.
That was a whole bottle.
Mm-hmm. Well, because look how big this black is. I think the black's...
I think black's like the most used one, I think.
Yeah.
So it's going to stop on its
and
own.
I do have another one of these in black if I need to.
It's full now.
Is it stopped?
Yeah, it's stopped.
Yep, so you could take it out.
There's a little bit left in there, like you said.
Yeah, and then there's a little bit left in the bottom. We'll put it back in there. Because also after we prime once we prime it and prime the lines, we'll be able to go in and just add, top off the ink. You know what I mean?
Yep. What's next? Magenta?
Magenta, here you go. Make sure it's nice and tight for you.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It only goes one way, doesn't it?
Huh?
It only goes one way?
Yeah, it does. It only goes one way. Because I put the black the opposite first and it wasn't fitting in.
Come on. Yeah, it's
was gonna say I need to be careful of the carpet, but dude, listen. This poor carpet. We're gonna take it up and put some ceramic tile in it that matches the house because this carpet has epoxy and everything else on it.
Yeah, if I did that. Huh?
Oh yeah, if you did that, I'd be yelling at you, wouldn't I?
I wouldn't even venture to do that.
Huh?
I wouldn't venture to do that. My room's got perfect carpet in it still.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Just unlock the door all the
Yeah, but you do your messy stuff out in the garage.
Yeah.
I do my messy stuff in here.
As it should be.
All right, so here's our...
What's the next one? It's blue and starts with a C?
Yep.
What kind of blue is that?
It's called...
The blue?
Cyan.
Cyan.
Yeah. I gotta do some shifting around in here to make room for this extra printer.
Yeah. Yeah, that printer over there is real nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's my printer for doing my regular stuff. So like
That's
my printable vinyl and stuff.
That's the only time you can make a mess right there. So you're filling it up.
Yeah.
Everything else is good.
Yeah, but if you were using it as a regular printer, like they really make this like...
It's pretty cool. You can just fill it.
Yeah, they make it foolproof, right?
You sit down to buy those cartridges.
Yeah.
Think about how many of them they throw away every year.
I know. And, you know, and apparently, like, this stuff is... I was looking at the back of the box, and it said that this is like 60 cartridges.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of ink.
It is.
Did you know even when it says empty, you can still get about 50 pages out of it?
There's that.
Okay.
And I'll fill in the rest of the red.
It was a gun show this weekend. I didn't go. Proud of me?
You
proud of me? I didn't go to the gun show this weekend.
And then I've got the extra red. And pull out the directions. All right. And then the directions, it comes in Spanish and English.
Close this.
Yep, you can close that. So now... All right, so now you can connect the power cord.
Okay. Here's your plug behind it.
So now we're going to raise the control panel to turn it on, but it's got an on button right there. Turn it on.
There we go. English.
Okay, so hit OK. Did you do that?
Yeah. Should I waited?
Yeah.
I figured we wanted English, so.
Yes.
Correct that code.
Okay. Is there like a message on
preparing.
there?
Just preparing on there.
Here?
Yeah, so you just start here sheet to complete the installation.
Okay, push OK. On the next screen, press and hold the question mark button for 3 seconds. When the message starts, initialization appears on the LCD screen. Is it on there?
Yep.
Okay, so there is a diamond with an eye in it.
Yep, diamond with an eye. That's weird. Oh, right here. Okay, I see it.
Okay. Press the diamond eye start button to start charging the ink. So, yep.
All right.
So charging takes approximately 10 minutes. All right, so we're going to let this charge, and in 10 minutes, we'll come back to it. All right, so that was the quickest 10 minutes ever, at least for them. For us, it was a long 10 minutes. All right, so what is it? It says complete.
It says complete. Press OK.
All right, press OK.
Is that you telling me to press OK, or were you
Yep.
reading? Okay.
Press OK. So now we can complete filling the ink tanks. So we can lift this up.
It says Align. It still says Align on there.
Hmm?
It says Align printer to get the best quality.
Okay, yeah.
Adjust
So
or adjust later. Which one do you want?
yeah. So well, first let's finish. Let's
Okay.
top off the ink tanks.
Yep.
We'll worry about the black. I have another bottle of black, but we'll worry about that later
Later
because we've already filled it.
Empty now? No, still got more in it.
Still more in it?
Mhm.
What's next?
Full.
Magenta?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, we're gonna hook the program off camera just so that the video's not so so long, but if there's anything major to it, we'll let you know. All right, so we set up, all we did was set it to our network, and then the iPad automatically picked it up. And for right now, I'm going to print through Design Space, so I'm just going to do it as like a print then cut. I'll cut around it. I'm using this A-Sub is the paper that I used. It had really good reviews on it, so we'll see how it works. So I'm going to open it up. Now, you put your paper in, and it's going to be what you print on is going to be face forward. So the A-Sub, it has some writing on it, so that's your back, that's your front. So it's going to go in like this. Oh, that's why. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Now
it says previous settings. Letter, plain paper. You confirm, right?
Yeah, you can just confirm. All right, so I'm just gonna pick the Epson. We're gonna print. Now, so the one thing with the sublimation, when you print it, it looks really dull on your paper, but it's going to be completely different once you print it.
No.
So I just have some microfiber towels that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And there's a picture that we could print on. So we might have to go into our settings and set it up a little bit because we really didn't go through and check and make sure all of our lines connected. So that's why we'll just have to go into our settings and and adjust our picture. But for now, we can at least see how the colors look. So do you see, we'll see how the lines are there? So we'll have to go in and adjust the settings. But this will be just to see how the colors look. I have the Easy Press set to 400. And I'm just going to use one of these microfiber towels.
It has to be microfiber?
Well, it has to be polyester.
Okay.
So I'm going to heat it.
Like a polyester blend?
It can be a polyester blend, but at least 65% polyester.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to heat it. Now, just for this, because we're just practicing, I'm not going to worry about like doing like the heat tape to keep it all like lined up well or anything like that, because we're just going to look at the color and see. So you want to make sure that you cover it because your image, like the colors can, you know, spread because they're going to turn into a gas. And then we got it on 400, and we're going to go for a minute.
Is it Fahrenheit, Celsius?
Fahrenheit. Mm-hmm. So we'll put this on here, and we'll see how we did.
Wow. Look at the colors on that.
Look at the colors on that. So, I mean, so we'll have to go in and play with it and adjust our settings. So I realized that I was so high when I was doing the video that you couldn't really even see it. And I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's really hard when you're trying to get close enough to see everything and then make sure everything's in frame. So I just want to make sure you can see how beautiful the colors are. And we did go back in and adjust our settings so that we won't have the lines in anymore. But look at that. It is perfect. Very cool. So that, you know, we didn't do that in the setup, which we should have, but we can just go in and do that.
We didn't have any regular paper to do it on.
Yeah, so we'll go in, adjust the settings, and then that'll get rid of the lines.
That's pretty impressive still. You can wash that and everything. It's like a regular.
Yeah, you can wash that and everything. Really? Like, and you see, like, it's in there permanently. It's not like
an iron.
No, it's not like something that pulls off.
It's pretty awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, pretty impressed.
Very cool. All right, so there we go. We set up our Epson printer to sublimation. All right, hey, I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful day and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.